All right. Ooh, there we go. That is much better. All right. We're going to open up some Lorcana. One trove, two troves, one box, two box, three box, four box. And hopefully Kitty will be able to make it. She's waiting on a delivery, so she's a little behind me. Hopefully she'll get here shortly, and we will be able to get her involved as well. Until then, I need a box to store whatever I'm going to open it. So I'm going to open one of the troves. We're going to go this one. Again, typical Lorcana trove. Radar on the boxes, some teasers of cards. I'll look at what's inside. I do love troves. They are the foundation of all things Lorcana, right? All the little extra arts. Set that over to the side so I can use it for garbage. Hard thing in life is, where do you put all your garbage when you're done? All right. So you've seen these already. Monsters Inc. We got some red, turning red. Some Ursula in the vinyling mode. Some Pooh. And of course, always Mickey and a logo. Ooh, divider cards. Always one of the best items for the trove because it makes it easy to sort. We got Mally, Bell, Gaston, Russell, Christopher Robin, and Maribel. Can you tell it's been a long day? Somewhere in here are dice, purple and green with the kind of replacing our lovely number 6. The item everybody wants this time. We've got Mage as our lore counter. I think I'll use that in pre-release coming up in a couple of hours. All right. And then what everybody cares about. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 packs of Lorcana card stuff. So we're going to go ahead and just start opening. I can sort things a bit while I'm going through. I like to keep everything organized because it makes doing inventory later a little easier. All right, besties assemble. Here we go all the way over to Mulan. Focus search. Nico. And Minnie Mouse. Sorting boom. All right, we got to squeeze a bit so we can get everybody in frame ready. There we go. I think we got everybody. Maylin Lee, uncommon. Kevin, uncommon. Our first rare is an Omnidroid, followed by Dr. Bushrout. And the first whale card is a Carl and Russell and puzzle pieces. We're going to set wheels off to the side. you have any questions, you need anything answered, just type it in the chat on YouTube and we will do our best to answer. All right, we're going to start with a Woody Common, a Mulan, a Vineling Form, the Bear, Sully, Pete, Cetus, Red Moon Ritual is our first uncommon, Rabbit, and Rue. First rare is Woody. First legendary pull, Merida. And then a foil Kevin and puzzle piece. And as always, I'm a firm believer in protection. So when we pull a legendary or enchanted, they go in the protection. All right, pack number 3. So with the new pull rate, you're probably going to get at least one legendary. You may get an epic out of a trove. Everything else is just kind of a bonus. All right, we're going to start with Kanga, Mata, Beast. We've got a lot to do. Pain. Everybody's favorite new card, Potato. Uncommon, Antonio, Megavolt, Captain Hook, with a few good friends, and this is our playmat art of playmat that launched at Disneyland Paris, Disney World, and a couple other locations. Too much chaos this morning, and is online. Thankfully, I'd secured pre-order with somebody, so we hope everything goes well. Somebody gets to beat Loki, and the other people team up to try to beat him. And then we've got a super rare Mike Wachowski and foil Jasmine. All right, at our halfway point, we'll get this open, and then we're going to open at least one booster box. I'll probably reorganize a bit for the booster box. Mike Wachowski, Sheriff of Nottingham, Peter Pan, Focus Search, Buzz Lightyear, Panic to go with Pain, Dr. Hamster-Evil, another Kevin Uncommon, and a Mrs. Agasawa. All right, and then the card I am hoping for, the Enchanted Earth, super rare, Winnie the Pooh and Piglet. Super rare, Lilo and Stitch is the card behind the iconic, and we've got a lot to do. And puzzle piece. So halfway through, a good number of super rares. I think that's 3 or 4 of them, and then one legendary so far. So let's see what else we can pull out here. Besties assembled. Droid, Gaston is a Vineling, Mickey Mouse, Peter Pan, Aladdin. We've got our Hades uncommon, Observant Bloom uncommon, Sun Yi uncommon. Then we've got Rings of Stone as our first rare. Then we've got the combo Darkwing Duck and Launchpad. And then our foil is Common Scout Ahead. So again, we're not doing bad with the rares and super rares. Definitely would like to see another legendary or epic. Of course, we always want to see the iconic, so we know that. Jasmine, Stitch, it's going to be great. Roz, Maui, this is also the Park promo card for this set. Winfred, Protective Aura, Patwana's Staff, put that thing back. First rare is Merlin, followed by the new version of Beast Castle and Kelly is our foil cards. 2 more packs to go on the Trove. We're going to start with Lilo. We'll save our village. Roar, Robin Hood, Narrow Escape, Piercing Attack. In our uncommon slot, we've got our new version of Morph. We've got Tom, of course, the hero of the set, Doug. The Madrigal family is our first rare card slot. So your rare card slot goes to Tigger. This is also your version of this. It will is your buy box promo card and Red Moon Ritual. Last pack from the Trove. If I didn't have you, Owl, Splody Head, no. Clifford, Flam, Mouse, Eeyore, Lumpy, Uncommon, and then last uncommon is Willie the Giant in Rhineling form. Got a Carl and Russell as our first rare card slot. Second rare card slot is Windstorm. Our foil is a foil, but it is an epic. It is Epic Kevin. Love my shiny. So out of the Trove, 8 packs. We did end up with one legendary Merida and a epic Kevin. In a second, we're going to slide all these together. Put those in our Trove because our Trove is great for storage. We'll do a puzzle maybe at the end. All right. So now the big question becomes which monster we open. And this is a critical decision. We did the same thing last time. And our first box that we opened before pre-release just so happened to be a box that did include a Enchanted. Our first Enchanted, it was our first of 3 Mr. Incredibles. Meeny, money, mo. Yeah, nah. So this case has a special clause on it. Katie has had horrible luck. So one of these boxes is Katie. She gets to choose which box is hers after we open it. The hope is that she'll be able to open a couple of these live on video as well and then pick which box she wants to keep because they are, we want to get her some better luck with her pulls. Give me a second, just rearranging stuff. Doing stuff live at a store, at the nerd store here in West Valley, Utah. You run out of room. All right. So we have pulled all our packs. We're just going to start opening. See what we can get. All right, first pack is tough to open. That means it's got an iconic card. FYI, that would be amazing first pack magic, right? All right, so we're going to sort these a little different. We're going to do our amber up to our steel. So I've got a little bit more room in between things and we don't end up with piles that go crazy. All right, our first uncommon, Broken Pod, Prophetic Vision. Yes, if you look closely, that is Hyperia City. Look what you've done. I've heard that so many times in life. First rare slot is a super rare Divine. The next one is going to be that or rarer, and that is actually going to be the super rare Mike Wazowski, followed by foil, and our foil is Miko, and then puzzle piece. All right, how about a poo pack? All right, we're going to start with Woody, Mulan, the bear. Then we're going to go to Sully, Slam, Winfred. I'm Never Not By Your Side is our first uncommon. Madam Mim is our second uncommon. Doug, our third. First rare is Maximus, and it is followed by our first legendary card of the box, which is Whackerjack. Not sure where I am on the art on this one. And then our foil is a common Cetus and puzzle card. I've seen the average is still running 6 to 7 of the legendaries per box. I'm way okay with that number. All right, 3. Let's see what we get. All right, we're going to start with Besties Assemble, Omnidroid, that feels common, Gaston, Mickey Mouse, Peter Pan, Aladdin. You've Broken My Smolder is our first uncommon. Red Alert, next uncommon. Hera in Violin is our third uncommon. Bunch of Balloons. I think this is going to be a good card in the location deck. I hope to build one. Then we're going to go from rare to rare with the Magical Honey Staff, and then the foil version of the Magical Honey Staff. All right. Still think they need a tear tab on these packs, man. Make it easy on us. The first card up is Lilo, followed by Sailor Village, Roar, Robin Hood, Pete, Minnie Mouse. Then in our uncommon slot, we got Celia as our first, Carl is our second uncommon, Eeyore is our third uncommon, Town is our first rare, and we've got super rare Charles Muntz and a Sun Yi uncommon foil card. All right, let's see what we got. Priya, Lynn, Yzma, Launchpad, Narrow Escape, Piercing Attack. And in our uncommons, we've got Lumpy, Hatstreevel, Sun Yi. For sure, card slot is to Wither a Flower. We've got Rare Location, Ring of Stone. Uncommon Proactive Aura is our foil. 1 second here. Bear with me one real quick second here. Oops. All right, there we go. Doing 10 different things at once. Always fun. Back we go. So we are 5 packs in. This will be pack 6. All right. Wazowski, Sheriff of Nottingham, Peter Pan, Focus Switch, Maleficent, Potato, Uncommon Roo, Uncommon Hades, Uncommon Rabbit, and we've got Rare Location in Beast Castle, and we've got our second legendary card, Christopher Robin. Foil is Posey. Posey is the one that shifts onto Potato as part of the Potato shift. So we've got Christopher Robin reading, as always, with Piglet right there, being fascinated. All right, next pack up. We're going to start with the common Isabella, Violet, Hottie. We've got a lot to do. Miko and Buzz Lightyear. Red Moon Rituals, our first uncommon. The giant violin form second. We've got another more. Our first rare card slot is the entrance, followed by a super rare of Ming Lee. And then we've got a foil common on the dry version. Oh, screaming. Screaming for breath. All right. Pack number 8, 1/3 of the way through the box. And we are going to start with Tyler, Stitch, King Louie, Ellie, Elin Lee, Mother Gothel, and into our uncommon. We're going to start with Todd, Rapunzel's Tower. This is Nakasava. Our first super rare is Source of the Vine, Legendary Time, Mickey and Minnie Mouse, Legendary Foil, Mushu, so a double legendary. Let's put them in the right way. So we've got our Mickey and Minnie Mouse with the 5 lore capability. We've got Foil, Mushu.
I'm on the way. You got it. You just drop this box off out front. And I'll come out.
All right. We'll keep that foil separate. So, not a bad start to the box. We are at 3 legendary, 1 legendary foil. We are nowhere near halfway through. I feel there's probably going to be an epic or an iconic, or not epic or enchanted in this pack. It feels like Isabella common. We'll save our village common. Hottie, Sully, Narrow Escape, Minnie Mouse, Boo, and uncommon. That's our first one. Discarded Armor. That's also our first uncommon in that. And then the uncommon Sully in red. Dashfar is our first rare. And then second rare is Carl Birch to the new Russell. Nope. I was off in my guess. We just get a Winifred common foil. It's going to be the scary pack, right? Next everywhere, I tell you, it's crazy. All right, Priya, Omnidroid, Yzma, Robin Hood, this sounds familiar, Mr. Flam, Piercing Attack, I'm Never Not By Your Side is our first common, Cozy, the first regular version, and then Antonio, then we have got Antonio there, a Sprout, followed by a super rare Violet Farm, and then a rare Ursula vinyl foil. Uh, the whole idea of vinyl is kind of interesting. Um, I like the concept. We'll see how it all plays out and impact on decks and meta. Mike Wazowski, Sheriff of Nottingham, the Bear, Pluto, Peter Pan, Mother Gothel, Megavolt, Captain Hook, and Protective Aura. Then our first rare card is going to be a Milan Lee. Second rare is Maleficent and Diablo. And then our first epic of the box is going to be love the foil art on these. Into a sleeve it goes. We'll keep that with our foil legendary. All right. We're Miriam. Tower Before Me. Dash Common. Lee Common. Pain Common. All those are like your common. We got our staff uncommon. Put that thing back. And then an Eeyore uncommon. First rare is Boo. Followed by super rare Sully. And our foil is a common focus search. All right, that is the halfway point. Halfway point, we have 3 legendaries, 1 legendary foil, and 1 epic. Still to come, enchanted. All right, Kokum, Diablo, Donald Duck,
All right, which other one are we looking at?
Startle, Winnie the Pooh common, Rapunzel. Those are all commons we have not seen yet. So that's a good thing. And we're going to start with our uncommons. We've got Lumpy, Billy the Giant, we've seen before. Red Room Ritual, we've seen before. First rare card is Windstorm. Then we have a legendary, the Horned King, and an uncommon foil you broke. So here's our Horned King. You always got to have a good villain in Disney. I think it's something some of the remakes are missing is a truly evil villain. I remember growing up, Disney movies, you were always a little bit scared. Even when you were just watching them on World of Disney, something, always just a little scared. All right, we got a Tyler, Darkwing Duck, King Louie, Piglet, I think that's the first we've seen. We've got some Punch, I believe that's the first one of that. Scout Ahead is not. Rabbit is our first uncommon, followed by Brew, followed by Hades. First rare is Randall Boggs. First one we've seen on that. And then a Dr. Bushwick, we have seen that. Common foil, move on. All right. Sorry, I'm on a bit of a timeline here. I do have we're starting up at 6 o'clock here, so I need to get stuff set up and organized here as soon as I'm done with this box. We've got Kanga as our first common. Beast. You've got a lot to do. Petrify, I believe that's the first time we've seen that one. And I believe that's the first Russell. Absorbent Bloom, Sunny uncommon, and a more uncommon. Super rare Lilo and Stitch. Followed by a super rare Bella Beast. Those are the 2 inspirations for 2 iconics in this set. And then we have a super rare Source of the Vine foil. All right. We'll have 8 packs left after this. Better start with Jasmine, Stitch. It's going to be great. Roz, Maylin Lee, Ellie. Todd is our first uncommon. Then Doug, Rapunzel's Tower. First rare is Nobody Like You. The first that we pulled. And then rare Mingly, also the first that we pulled. A common foil Vineling Robin. All right, last 8 packs. All right, so we've got Kanga, Owl, Beast, Pluto, Winnie, Ellie, and then one and only first common, Cusco. That's the first one we've seen of that, but we have seen the Zord Bloom. They're a card Vine Pod, super rare Sully and Boo, and Megavolt Epic. I do like that Darkwing is getting all of his villains into the set. So 4 legendaries, 1 foil legendary, 7 packs to go. We're going to start with Jasmine. It's going to be great. Raw, Stepify, and Rapunzel. Maylin Lee is our first common. Kevin, and Hannah's Encaster. I believe that's the first we pulled of that. First time we've seen rare Henry J. Waters the third. Then another rare card, Pocahontas. First time we've seen that one. And a regular bear foil. All right. We're going to move quick, hook 'em. Diablo, Splody Head, Startle, Payne, Russell, Uncommon, Weed Whacker, Tinkerbell, I believe that's the first we've seen, and Pod, I believe that's the first we've seen there. Miss Incredible as a Vineling, another legendary card, and it is Woody and Buzz with an uncommon Celia foil. All right, we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 packs. We have 5 legendary, 1 legendary foil, 2 eggs. Miriam, Queen Duck, Donald Duck, Piglet, Duck. You got some punch, Scout Head. Copper is our first uncommon. Power Surge, Gaston. Grandma Woo's our first rare, and then a super rare Russell, and a rare Aladdin Vineling foil. All right. I didn't have you. Dash Par, Launchpad, Panic, Potato, Broken Heart, Prophetic Vision. Look what you've done. First card is a rare in the rare spots, Merlin, followed by a rare Android. I didn't have you foil. All right, we haven't seen this one in a while. That's Assemble, Mulan, Rar, Focus Search, Pete, Cetus, Uncommon Boo, My Adventure Book. That's the first we pulled that. And then 100 Acre Wood, Rare Paradise Falls. Then we've got a rare Woody and a super rare Rapunzel foil. Last two packs. Should get one more goodie out of these last two packs, I expect. Lilo, Violet, Gaston, Belle, Maleficent, Aladdin, Uncommon, the Irate Chef. That's the first time we've seen him. First time we've seen Uncommon Genie. And the first screen canister that we pulled, rare card slot, with a few good friends. Again, we have pulled one of those already. Super rare Closet Door Portal. And then our foil is Beast Castle, which is a rare. All right, last pack. As you say, now we hope this is the last pack magic, right? All right, we're going to start with Woody, Flynn Rider, Peter Pan, Mickey Mouse, Nico, Winifred, Abby Park, first of the uncommons we've seen for her. Madam Mim, we have seen. Big Book of Honey, I believe that is our first. And rare card slot, Laugh Canister, legendary card, Make Lee, and a common foil Pete. The last pack did have some magic in it. All right, so we ended up with Maylin Lee as legendary, Woody and Buzz, Horned King, Mickey and Minnie, Christopher Robin, Quackerjack, foil version of Mushu, and then two epics, Megavolt and Boo. All right, thanks for hanging out. I'm going to drop off and go get ready for our event that starts in a little over an hour. Hope you have a good day. If you have any comments or questions, leave them in the chat. We'll talk later.